Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Anne, the Max Colour Stitcher. Today is Sunday the 5th of July 2026 and I'm back for my weekly cross stitch update. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed and comments and likes. I really appreciate reading all your comments, so thank you very much and thank you for coming back to watch me. I've had a pretty good stitchy week this week, considering it's been a very busy week. But I did better than last week, so that's a win for me. So I stitched on my usual 9 projects and I did 6,000 stitches. For anyone new, I am a full coverage stitcher. I stitch all my projects bar one on 22 count hardanger 1/1 full cross using DMC, and I stitch by row using Stitchy Mummy's typewriter method, which is picking a symbol in a 10 by 10 block and stitching out that thread in the current row, the next row down, and then I will park after that. So let's get into the stitching. I will start with my weekend focus pieces as usual. I stitch 1,000 stitches on both of these every weekend. And Pen Keeper's not working. My first one, as usual, is Dragon Race into the Night. This is artwork by Rose Khan. This is the Max Colour Heaven and Earth Designs version. It is no longer available through there and is only available through Paine Free Crafts. There's quite a number of Flosstubers stitching on this one, and I keep forgetting to write their names down, and I don't want to just mention a few and not others, so yeah. It won't be hard if you wanted to try to find Flosstubers who are stitching this one. I've just been stitching in the green wing this week, plus I finished the flag. So this week I will be stitching in the stone bridge there. So it looks like confetti to me. Looks like lots of confetti. I started, when I got to the flag, that's when the confetti started. First, probably 800 stitches was easy going. That's the way on this piece. It'll have easy stitching and then not so easy stitching. So here we are here. So I started about here, I think, and I worked my way all the way across, and I basically finished the side of the wing. This flag pole is like checkerboard, like you can see. That's, yeah, really confetti heavy. And then some of these stitches did jump over into here as well. But yeah, all of this here will be confetti. So that's the stone bridge. So this week I should probably get probably back to these people holding the lights, I think. Probably about to there. So that's 1,000 stitches on Dragon Race, and I got a really good stitch milestone this week. This now has total stitches of 290,000. So that is very exciting. Not long now, well, it'll be 10 weeks, but you know what I mean, till I get to the 300,000 mark, and I'm so close to 70% now as well. So I'll have 2 big milestones coming up very soon. So this is 290,000 out of 417,000. It started at 69.3 and is now at 69.54%. So less than 0.5% and I will be at the 70% mark. I had someone comment on my mid-year whip parade to say that I should get to 75% by the end of the year. So that's exciting. That would be really exciting. But yep, unroll it for everyone. So I did show this on my mid-year whip parade, obviously. I showed all of them, but I've had 500 stitches more in it since then, since I worked on it yesterday. And my other weekend focus piece, which also gets 1,000 stitches, is this one. This is supersized. Let's start with the name of the piece first. This is Library of Cats. Or I just was watching Siske's video, and she called it the Cat Kingdom, and I really like that. It's definitely a, yeah, lots of cats in their kingdom. Anyway, this is Library of Cats Right. This is Supersized Max Color. Artwork by Aimee Stewart, charted by HAED. And what are you doing? I don't know what this thing is doing. And I'm in the first row, but I've nearly finished the first row. So what I've been working in this, this wallpaper here. So lots of yellows and like beige colours. But so close to the edge now. I will get to the end of the row by next week. So that is exciting. So this, I had some of this stitched in, but I stitched in a bit more, and then I stitched all the way across here. So this here, that is the end of the piece. That is the side. So I have reached the end, like with a few scattered stitches, and I worked out there's about 700 blocks, 7 blocks to go. So I will definitely make it there with my 1,000 stitches this week coming up. So that is going to be so exciting. Very, very happy with that. So yeah, just lots of yellows, and it's confetti, but there's not a lot of single stitches. So for the most part, I'm able to, you know, stitch my thread out, or if I'm not, at least I'm doing more than 1 or 2. I'm doing, you know, 10 or something at a time. So that is good. So this is now total stitches of 9,000. So next week I will be at 10,000, and I will also have a row finish. So that is big week next week. 9,000 out of 696,303. It's gone from 1.15 to 1.29%. And there's also quite a number of people doing this one. I just about need to list them all below, don't I? Who's doing Dragon Race? Who's doing this one? And we're all doing it slightly differently. So I haven't seen anyone else do the typewriter method quite like me. Well, if they are, they're not as far along. So I haven't seen it, like I haven't seen anyone have stitched that bit yet. So it's cool. And I usually get a question about my frames. So I own quite a few Omnics, which are no longer being made. You can see that the ends are Omnics. I've got it turned around the wrong way. Maybe that one's, yeah. These are Omnic ends, but now that they're not being made, these rods, this is made by Gus Custom Creations in Australia. He is only available through Facebook Messenger. So I'm getting my rods now from him, and they will go up to 100 centimeters. But you can order special, longer, up to a certain length, but you have to pay extra postage for that. No, sorry, it goes up to 90, I think, ordinarily, and then I ordered special and got 100 centimeters. It's testing my memory now. And I had to pay extra for courier, but so I've got 2 of these 100 centimeter ones, and I just use my Omnic ends. If you don't have these Omnic ends, then you would have to get his designed rods, or otherwise Needle Needs in the UK also sell big scroll frames. Or there's also Paine Ferry as well. They sell the, is it aluminium? Some sort of metal. I know it's very heavy, so I haven't gone to that option, because then I'd have to get a new stand, because I've been told that my Custom Creation wooden stand wouldn't hold a Painting Fairy frame. Okay, then we move on to my wheel spins. I do 5 wheel spins a week 500 stitches from Monday to Friday. And I was watching Siske as well, and she was saying that, you know, she doesn't remember what I spin anyway. And I don't know, I was thinking about doing a poll. Who remembers what I spin? And I don't remember what I spin, which I know you're going to think is quite funny, but I actually don't. I write them down, and then every day I have to look at what I spun. I don't know why, it doesn't stay in my memory what I'm stitching on each day. But I like doing the wheel spins for you guys, and for me as well. Well, I mean, I do the wheel spins because I can't choose my projects. I would just be sitting there humming and hawing, you know, not knowing what to stitch on that day. And I tried my daughter, getting her to pick, but she picks the ones she likes and doesn't pick the other ones, and so they never get stitched on. So that didn't work either. And I like all of them, and obviously I like some more than others too. So then I'm biased, and then I stitch, you know, I want to stitch on all of them, not just the favorites. So the wheel spin it is, and then it's like, well, if I wheel spin here, I don't know. At least I know what I'm doing. I have a plan. I don't remember the plan, but I have a plan. Anyway, my first wheel spin was this one. This is Whispers of the Glade. Max Colour artwork by Bill and Linda Tiepelman, charted by Kiwi Fine Stitch Design on Etsy. And this week I was just stitching in the navy blue in the sky. I think a couple more rotations probably in the navy before I get back to the wing. So not much to see. But I was so glad that this was spun on a Monday, because I only got these 500 stitches in, and I barely got these 500 stitches in, even though it was just block stitching, because Monday was a day and a half at work. But I was determined to get my 500 stitches in, so yeah. So I started off about here and did the 500. So there's another 500 to about there, and then maybe the next one I'd get a little bit back into that wing, and then a row finish. So there's maybe 3 more rotations to get to the row finish. So this one now has total stitches of 40,000, so that's a great milestone. But 40,000 out of 316,386, it's gone from 12.48 to 12.64%. So still a long way to go. It's funny, you say 40,000, you think, I must be nearly finished. No, I'm not. No, I am not. And my second wheel spin, which again, I was so glad this came up on Tuesday, because Tuesday was end of financial year, and it was also crazy. And you could say, oh, I swap my projects around, but I don't know. I'm the type of person that once it's set, I just like doing it. I don't know why. This is Cradled, by the way, is filled with love and wonder. This is artwork by Little Love Hearts. My apologies for that noise of the car driving past. I don't know why some people have to rev their car when they drive past your house. World of Love Hearts, charted by Stitch is So Beautiful, and I'm just in the background up here, just past the butterfly. I haven't found these little flowers or anything yet, so maybe next time, or maybe it's the next row down. I'm not sure, but here we are here. So 500 stitches just in here somewhere on that row. So slowly making my way to a row finish. I think that maybe another 500 to get to the row finish. It's hard to tell sometimes because I have stitched, you know, quite a bit down into that next row, and yeah, so there's not like empty blocks I can just count, but I think that would be possibly 500 to get a row finish. So this now has total stitches of 12,000 out of 160,000. It's gone from 7.19 to 7.5% exactly. This one my daughter chose for herself, and it was a focus piece last month. So the next one I spun is this one. This is Crafty Cat, artwork by Brigid, Ashwood, charted by Paine Crafts. And I was just stitching in this pink flower up here. If you wanted to, Siske is also stitching this one. And if you want to see someone who's got a lot more progress, check out Catherine Stitch's latest video. She's got all of this stitched in, so the flower. It's looking great. Looking forward to getting some more in on this. I say that about all my projects though, don't I? So here we are here. So it's with this one, I stitch like scattered in the area, and then I get to fill it in the second time. So this time I really got to fill in that pink there. So that was fun. So I got 500 stitches in, like I did last time, but it looks like a lot more progress than last time because I got to fill it in. So on the second row there. So this now has total stitches of 8,000 out of 226,600. It's gone from 3.31 to 3.53%. Two more wheel spins. The next one I spun is this one. This is called Black Cat, also known as Bella, which is my black cat. This is designed and charted by Siske Stitches Designs. You can find her charts on her Facebook group, or you can message her directly, or all her links to everywhere are in her Flosstubes. And I've just been stitching in this pink up here, just on the front to the top row. It's only a new-ish start. It's my newest, yeah, it's my newest start. So here we are here. So the pinks were really fun to stitch. I have to say I don't have many projects that have got like these colors in it. So that's nice. So this got 500 stitches and now has total stitches of 1,500 out of 312,000. I didn't say this is a max color as well. It's gone from 0.32 to 0.48%. Love that one. And my last wheel spin of the week. Need to find it. Is Autumn's Fire. This is artwork by Claudia McKinney, charted by Charting Creations. And I am in the second row on this one, just stitching in this flower here. Is that right? Whoa, dropping it. Yep, that. Oh dear, what have I done? Yep, just that flower there. Nearly got my second row finish. Next time we'll have a row finish. So here we are here. So that flower definitely looks a lot better now with the stitches in, and just a little less than 500 to go to get that row finish. It was fun to stitch on something other than these dark colors. This is it here. So this is total stitches of 8,500 out of 228,690. It's gone from 3.5 to 3.72%. Okay, so on the days I do my wheel spins, and on the weekend if I have time, I will stitch on a secondary focus piece. And it's really just because I like starting each day with a fresh project. So I used to just do heaps of wheel spins, and so if I finished 500 and then I'd have say 200 left time, I'd just start a new 500 stitch project and do 200 one day and 300 the next, and I really didn't like that. I still have two projects on each day, but I just like starting the day fresh. I feel like I just don't like having part stitches done, and I do have part stitches done on my secondary focus, but I don't know, it just it feels differently. I don't know why. That's just me. This just works for me, so we do what works for us, don't we? I worked on 2 secondary focus pieces this week. I needed to finish the stitches on my June focus pieces, which were the stitches for the projects my daughter has chosen for herself. So I finished the stitches on this one. This is Paris Morning, artwork by Uliana Babenko, charted by HAED. I had finished the row last time and partly started on here, so I was just working back in the leaves and the sky. So still in the leaves and the sky, because previously I had stitched the curtain on this next row, so I didn't have to start there. But here we are here. So I had a few more stitches, I think, just here, and then I had to stitch the stitches in the frame there, and then I worked my way across into the leaves and the sky there. So I still got a few more leaves to stitch, I think, maybe. The leaves do sort of, you know, go that way, so they sort of finish and then I'm back into the sky. But I did work out, I think, that this next row, the row that I'm on, I should hit the top of the Eiffel Tower. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know why, but this one seems to go very slow. I say that every time I stitch on it, but I don't know, and I know it's big, so maybe that's it. This has total stitches, so this got 500 to finish off its 1,000 stitch rotation because I had done 500 the week before. So it now has 39,000 stitches out of 367,500. It's gone from 10.48 to 10.61%. Now, so that was the end of the June secondary focus whips. So for July, Christmas in July, I decided to make Dreaming of Christmas, my secondary focus piece for 1,000, and then Blooming Whiskers, the 500, just to break up. So I'm just not doing Dreaming of Christmas. Previously I've had 3 or 4 secondary focus pieces, but I thought I would try. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, honestly, and I had a few people say, yeah, how long are you going to last just doing that one? But I'm not just doing that one, I'm breaking it up, but yeah, I'm still not sure how long I'm going to last on this, but I'm going to try. At least for July, Dreaming of Christmas will be my secondary focus, along with Blooming Whiskers. I didn't get to Blooming Whiskers this week. I only stitched on Dreaming of Christmas, but I did get my 1,000 stitches, so I was happy with that. This is Dreaming of Christmas, artwork by Sheena Pike. This is retired from Heaven and Earth Designs and is not available anywhere else. And I got a row finish. So I have to zoom it in a little bit and then try to point and hold at the same time. So I stitched some in this row here in the holly, and then I moved back over here and I was stitching in, what is that green thing? Oh, that's the present. The present, and then into the cookie. Oh, I think that's a cookie. A tree cookie. So happy to get another row finish. So this makes 3 row finishes on this one for the year. When I did my mid-year whip parade, I did a bit of better recording of my row finishes and how many I've had on each project, and also the total. So I had originally not been, one of my subscribers mentioned that I hadn't been counting row finishes on Scrappy Muffin. So I went back and worked out how many row finishes I should have had on that. So I've added another 5, plus I had it wrong last week, and another person pointed out I had it wrong as well. So I should have had, without Scruffy Muffin, I should have had 30 last week. I added 5 more for Scruffy. So this is row finish 36 for the year. So I finished off the stitches in this row. That was 600 to finish off that. And then I moved back over here and I did 400 over here. So I just worked in this bit here, the present and the cookie. So I should get through this. It's a little stocking, the mouse is holding the mouse, and probably back into the dog's leg as well. So I started this one with the at the 500 mark. I would have preferred if it had started the month at the 1,000 stitch mark now, but anyway. I stitch, for anyone new, I stitch all my projects 500 stitch blocks at a time. But now this is getting 1,000 stitches a week. Yeah, it's stuck at the 500. But this got 1,000 stitches. It's 1,000 stitches. It now has total stitches of 136,500 out of 166,678. So it's gone from 81.29 to 81.89%. So I do love this one, and I do love stitching on it. But yeah, I don't want to get burnt out on it, which I do if I stitch on it too much. But I figure I stitch on Dragon Race and Library Cats 1,000 every week. So why can't I stitch on this one 1,000 every week? But I don't know. Dragon Race and Library Cats, I don't know, it's easier to stitch 1,000 stitches on them because they change so much. And that's one of the main reasons I do the typewriter method, because the colours change, what I'm stitching changes. You know, like on Dragon Race, I stitched on the green dragon last week, and then this week, you know, I'm stitching on the bridge and Library of Cats. This week will be probably quite similar to the previous week in terms of I'm stitching on that wallpaper, but I'm getting to the top of that frame with the cat in it as well. Whereas Library Cats, Dreaming of Christmas is more the dog at the moment. It's a lot of dog and a lot of similar colours. But I do have like the holly on either side and like the mouse and stuff. So it's not completely just the same. Like say for example, Paris Morning is just sky at the moment. A lot of sky, a few leaves and a few clouds, but sky and curtain is basically what it is. So, but we'll see how we go. So that's my stitches for the week. 6,000 stitches, as I said. So this week, well, I am on a holiday. Woohoo! Holiday from work, not holiday as in going somewhere. Yes, we'll move into plans. I am just really tired, exhausted. I need to recover my energy levels from the end of financial year. It was a big push to get to finish, and I didn't quite get everything finished I wanted to. And I was sort of debating whether I take. This is really life, isn't it? Whether I take holidays later, but I will go into that in life. But anyway, I'm on holiday, so I should get, hopefully, more stitching in. So we will see. I'm almost tempted to do... See, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. This is the thing. I've been thinking about it and I still can't decide. Because I don't really know how much stitching I'm going to do. I find that if I'm working and I have like just a small amount of time after work, I really focus and I really make sure I get my stitches done. When I have days off, weekends, holidays, I just sort of float around and, oh, do this and do that, and maybe, you know, do some cleaning or go out and have lunch with someone or coffee, or, you know, take my daughter shopping, or, you know, whatever it is. And then I'm not really focused on my stitching. So then I end up not getting that much more on the whole day free than, you know, just after work. So we'll see how much I get done. Anyway, plans, we'll just keep the plans the same, and if I end up stitching different, well, you'll see next week. But it'll be my weekend focuses as usual: 1,000 on Dragon Race, 1,000 on Library Cats. I did think about increasing them, but again, I do worry about burning out on them if I start increasing them. The 1,000 stitches seems to be working quite well for them. And yeah, obviously stitching on them more would make them finish sooner, but do we need to finish? No. So let's do the 5 wheel spins as usual. Now, I know that there's quite a few people, including myself, who had a good laugh last week's wheel spins. Like, hello, what was going on with my wheel? It was against me. I mean, you have to say, why would it stitch Paris Morning? Of all things, I had 18 projects that it could choose from. 18. And it chose Paris Morning, the one I didn't want. And then it chose Catching a Butterfly, which is another one which, you know, I had just stitched as a focus piece and didn't want to stitch on last week. I was so gobsmacked last video, I just didn't know what to say, honestly. But yeah, it gave a lot of people a chuckle, so that was good. At least everyone had a good laugh. I haven't, they are still blacked out on my wheel at the moment. I will do them at the end of the wheel. So like, I do want to stitch on them this month. I just needed a break from them, which was why I was hoping they were going to get spun. I haven't unblacked them for this week, so maybe next week I'll feel a little bit better about it. I mean, I only just stitched on Paris Morning. I don't need to stitch on Paris Morning again this week. But I did add a couple more. So, you know, I'm taking a leaf out of Stitching with Mel, and if I have a project, I should just stitch on them, shouldn't I? Otherwise I'll never get done. Like, I haven't bought anything new, but I have had projects sitting there for a while and I haven't started them for whatever reason. So anyway, and I mentioned that Black Cat's Christmas tree wasn't on my wheel. And then someone's like, I thought you would put it back on your wheel. It's Christmas in July. I'm like, you know, as soon as I said it in my video last week, I thought to myself, yeah, it should be on the wheel. So Black Cat's Christmas tree will be, I should show you what it is. So I'm just, you know, yabbering. I start to film myself when I start yabbering, honestly. So I have put this one back on my wheel, Black Cat's Christmas tree. So if it comes up this week, then I'll be stitching on that one this week. It is Christmas. It should be on the wheel. I mean, let's face it. If I'm gonna, it's not on my regular wheel, but it should be on for Christmas in July. And the next one I put on is a new start. It will be a new start whenever it spins up. I have had the chart for a long time. It is in my pattern keeper before Cradled by Waves, before Scruffy, before Crafty Cat. I've had it that long, and I haven't stitched on it. And I was watching Sharon Fun with Cross Stitch, and she's been doing this one for a while, and I bought it because I saw it on her channel when she started it, and since it's Christmas in July, that's one of her projects for this month. And I just love how it's turning out for her. So I've decided to stitch. I decided it's Christmas in July, I should start it in this month. So it is this one. It is Merry Mischief Makers. I actually not sure if I know who the artist is. I purchased it from Zana Cross Stitch, who is now Zana Croswell on Etsy. She does not have it on her listed as an option on her Etsy shop, and she didn't have it listed when she was Zana Cross Stitch either. But I messaged her directly, and she was able to give me a link to purchase it. And, you know, how can I resist cats and Christmas? Which is, you know, obviously like my dreaming with Christmas, but, well, that one doesn't have cats, but, you know, what am I saying? I love stitching the red and the green, and those cats are cute. You can see that there's like grey around like the cats and like around the outside of the, you know, this bit here and around here. I won't be stitching that. So, can I find there's no artist mentioned, so I don't know anything about the artist. It is 400 by 400 and has 90 colours. So I have purchased, and again, I purchased it a long time ago, 25 count, I know, what am I thinking? Opalescent. So I am white opalescent. I'm gonna try to stitch that on that. Why I think opalescent is gonna work better than normal 25 count, I don't know, but I want it on sparkly fabric, and I bought it then. It's just been sitting there, and so let's just give it a go. Let's just give it a go. If it doesn't work out, I'll start it on something else. That's fine. I don't have any other fabric to start it on, but that's fine. I will work out something at another time. It's not really a priority. So that means I now have 21 options on my wheel because I added 2 more. I did have 19. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocked out. Those 8 do include Paris Morning and Catching a Butterfly, which again I said will come up at some point. So let's see what we've got. Monday, Elegant Floral Sewing Kit. I'm happy about that. Tuesday, oh, what are we doing? Flowers, Fur and Feathers. Wednesday, Kit and Caboodle. Thursday, Pike Cat's Christmas Tree. And Friday, Symphony of the Sovereigns. Okay, so I will go and get those projects and I will be back soon. Okay, so the first one I spun is Elegant Floral Sewing Kit. This is artwork by Leodrom, charted by Stitcher So Beautiful. So I had a row finish when I stitched on this one last week, not last week, the week before. So I'll be starting back over here. I'm obviously taking the background out of this one, so that will be fun. This one is in remembrance of my mum. And I definitely need to get some more stitches on this one. When I did my mid-year whip parade, I haven't stitched as much on this one as pretty much any other one because it wasn't in my Aimee and it hasn't also been a focus piece. So it might need to be a focus piece or something at some point to get a bit more stitches in it. My second wheel spin is Flowers, Fur and Feathers, artwork by Chiro Marchetti, charted by, this is Max Color, charted by HAED. So I will just be stitching in the background by the looks of it. I might get back into a few stitches in that bird's tail, but it'll mostly be these leaves and background and whatnot. Be a while before I get back to that squirrel if I only do have 500 stitches a week. A rotation. It doesn't come out every week. No, wasn't showing you the whole thing. And my third wheel spin was Kit and Caboodle. This is artwork by Simonetta Ubiali, charted by Charting Creations. So I will just be working in this chair the cat's sitting on, by the looks of it. Probably won't get much further than that. I do think sometimes 500's not enough, but then 1,000's too much, and I like, you know, the 500, 1,000 step rounded numbers, so 500 it is. The fourth wheel spin is this one, Black Cat's Christmas Tree. This is artwork by, I never remember this one, Black Cat's Christmas Tree. Can't find it now. Where are we? Oh dear. Can't see it for looking. This is what happens. Black Cats. Here we go. Pixel Aura Designs. It's charted by Stitch, is so beautiful. So I'll just be working in this row here. And the last one I spun was Symphony of the Sovereigns. This is Max Colour. Artwork by Bill and Linda Tiepelman, charted by Kiwi Fine Stitch Design on Etsy. And I'll just be working in this, I think it's a tiger. Yep, a tiger there by the looks of it. Maybe back into the black of the background. So that's my 5 wheel spins for the week. So then I'll be stitching, I'll be back to Dreaming of Christmas, 4,000 stitches, and then I should definitely easily finish that. And then I was going to do 500 stitches on Blooming Whiskers. This is artwork by Ashwood Studios, charted by Paine Crafts. So just stitching in here. Now, because I am on holiday, I might end up getting 1,000 stitches on this instead. So my plan was for my secondary focus to stitch 1,000 on Dreaming of Christmas and then 500 on this one, because I generally get about 1,500 extra stitches a week. But I'll probably get more this week, so maybe 1,000 on each of them, 1,000 on this one as well. So I'll just be working in this row here. And if I get a really, really good stitch week, I don't know, I might switch to another project or something. I just don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I should definitely get some good stitching week. Hopefully get some good stitches in this week. So that's the plan anyway. We'll see how the plan goes. I mean, you know, something might happen and the wheels might fall off, but so we'll move now on to mentions. So thank you again for everyone who mentions me. I know there's some mentions that don't come up in the mention section. So I'm sorry if I'm not mentioning you because of that. I might have seen you mention me in your video, but then you didn't tag me, so I forgot to write it down, and yeah. So I had a couple of people mention me because of the typewriter method, which everyone seems to enjoy. Not everyone. Some of us seem to enjoy. And it works for me because it just takes the thinking out of it. You know, I don't have to think. And, you know, the typewriter method is really, you know, however you want to do it. Like, it's mostly for picking your symbol. You know, you can stitch where you like after that. I like to, you know, because I like to stitch on the current row plus the row below. Some people do two rows at a time. I did try that for a while. Some people like to stitch down rather than across. But the people who mentioned me are Dawn Marie from DM's Crafty Vortex, Jen Stitchy Corner, and also Sean P. Stitches. He put out his mid-year whip parade. He hadn't posted a video for a while, and he's doing the 2 rows at a time, which I'm kind of doing 2 rows at a time, but just not picking the symbol on the second row. So just picking it in the top row. So if it's in both rows, it'll get stitched in both rows, as long as it doesn't obviously go across. And I find that works well for like something that like that goes down, like that flower in Autumn's Fire, for example. Like it doesn't go across, it goes down because it's a flower. So I was able to stitch, you know, quite a lot of the flower. And I could have just finished the whole flower, honestly, and I know some people probably would have, but I like my row finishes too much to like just stitch like an item or a thing. The other people that mentioned me, who I sort of already mentioned, is stitching with Mel, Siske, of course. We have so many projects in common, plus yeah, we stitch similar ideas. Catherine stitches and stitching Noni. Catherine has restarted her blooming whiskers, so that's exciting. So you knew I'd be happy, Catherine, and yes, I am very happy that you've restarted blooming whiskers. It's been a long time since you stitched on that one. Plus she also has Crafty Cat, as I said before, and she's also about to start Catnap. So my favourite 3 cat projects she will be stitching. Well, she's thinking about Crafty Cat, but yeah, you know what I mean. And stitching Noni, she's doing Library of Cats plus Paris Morning. And I think it's another one we have in common too, but I can't remember it at the moment. And the other person that mentioned me, the 303 stitcher, Kim, she did her mid-year wet parade, and she mentioned me as a shout out, and thank you so much for the lovely words, Kim. I really appreciate them. So that's it for mentions. So just a bit of life. So as I said, I'm on holidays, yay! And yeah, I did think about going somewhere, but I really just need a break. I just need to relax. And for me, going away is not always relaxing. I'm the type of person that that doesn't like traveling. As in, I find the process of traveling stressful, the packing, the actual getting there, whether it be driving, which is not enjoyable for me, or flying, which again is not enjoyable for me. I get horribly motion sick when I fly, or a passenger in a car for that matter, or a bus, or anything. So it's not pleasant, really. I will do it if I have to. So yeah, the traveling, you know, it doesn't. When you're there, it's great, but yeah, getting to and from, and then, you know, you're there and you have to try to find some place, you know, you hope that you try to find a good place to stay, and, you know, you look at the reviews on their, like, website, or, you know, the travel apps and whatever, and they all look great, and then you get there and it's a disaster. I hear so many horror stories about, yeah, the place was a disaster, even though it was quite expensive. I've been somewhere where the bed was that bad I had to sleep on the couch, because it was basically collapsed, and it was such a busy time they didn't have any spare rooms, but like it was like a, you know, you're sleeping in a hole. It was terrible. So that's always, you know, a worry. And then, yeah, trying to find some place that you can eat. I'm very particular with what I eat. So, and I have an allergies as well. So that's also becomes an issue. Anyway, I am really waffling today. So in saying that, I'm staying home and I'm just relaxing and stitching and just doing whatever I want. Seeing family and friends if they are free, and spending time with my daughter. She's on school holidays for another week, so yeah, we're just gonna go shopping and go out for lunch and just do whatever we want to do, and it'll be so good to yeah, just have that downtime and hopefully be refreshed for another, when I get back to work next week. So that's probably all life, really. Actually, yeah, because I have no plans. I just like, you know, sleeping in, waking up, and just, what do I feel like doing today? Let's do that. Let's do this. So that will be good. Anything else that I can think of? No, I can't. So that's it for me. I will sign off now and edit this video and upload it. Thank you so much for everyone for watching, and I hope everyone has a great stitchy week. Bye.